Hello everyone, Nurse Mike back, checking the pulse on chess. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to look at a game I played, and you can maybe get some ideas. Go through my thought process, learn, get better. Maybe you'll make it up to my fantastic rank of 1944, which is just stayed frozen for a little bit. Anyway, let's take you through my thought process. In this game I played black. It is a 6-minute game plus 3 increment. I will give a little caveat that I play these games sometimes just against lower opponents just to wind down at the end of playing some chess. So this is one of those opponents. And then I play more risky and made up stuff. So we're going to start with the Nurse Gambit, which is to say I made this up. Yeah, so this is, I mean, maybe it's somewhere in some database, but I just played this because I was like, well, I mean, already from here, I probably was expecting that White was going to take the bishop, and I was probably going to just use that to accelerate my development and just grab some pieces back. So I was probably trying to remember what I was thinking here. I was probably thinking this, this, and then either say they try and hold on to it. I can just boop, and take. In which case I have the bishop for the, no Scholar's Mate. No, not Scholar's Mate today. This was what we're going to call a made-up gambit. Thanks for joining. So, we're looking at a game 6+3 for all you newer viewers that I just played as a wind down at the end of the night. Okay, so we get to this position. So one of the good ideas that you see kind of behind this thought process is the bishop is blocking the progression of these pawns. These pawns are blocking the vision of this bishop over here. So obviously I'm going to push here because I don't want to trade this pawn, not with the queen looking in and forcing myself a queen trade. I'm right now down a pawn because, nursing mate, nursing gambit. Okay, so White is trying to continue the pressure on the middle because they know they're up there a pawn. They have some pieces out. They want to continue their attack. I'm not really up for it. This is where you see kind of the first mistakes start to happen for White. They're going to continue to building pressure on this pawn, and I castle, which to them probably would look like a blunder because they see 3 attackers to my 1-2 defenders, right? So, predictably, White captures, figuring that they're going to come up another pawn. They'll be able to pressure my bishop and just be a nice clean couple of points up. Turns out, they're not, because there's a tactic, and that tactic happens right here. So this is where you'll notice the next move between this move and the next move for White is actually a fair bit of time because they were quite flustered once they saw the tactic. I was kind of annoyed that they saw it in the end. The tactic is that if this queen does capture the knight as they were intending, they've nicely lined up their queen and king for me. So realistically, they miscalculated how many attackers they had on the pawn and just gave me a free knight. So that put me in a better position already to start. I've also got a nicely centered position knight. Pawns are not going to be able to deflect it. I mean, other pieces will be able to, but I've just got too much initiative now. So I step on the gas here, see what else I can get for it. So this is another common tactic that you'll see, and that is that this looks like it's effectively defending the check, defending from everything, but I have this lovely little move. Normally you would see this coming from a knight in order to pressure the rook as well. The reason I did not like this is I saw that there's the bishop deflection, and then my queen is effectively pinned with the knight in defense, and is also going to I'm going to just lose the knight out of it. Sorry, I got distracted. Someone followed. It's a new thing for me. I don't get tons of followers, so thank you for following. I try and do some good content for you guys. Okay, yeah. So instead of that, we have captures. So at this point, White's just sacrificing the rook, seeing the attack. because if they don't capture, I mean, they're just going to lose the right to castle, and I'll just keep moving in. I'll move in with check or a capture or whatever I want to. I can bring the rook quite quickly. Oops, there. So they give up the rook in exchange for the bishop. So now I'm up 4 points of material. I have a rook and a knight for a bishop and a pawn. Not a bad move, trying to get the king safe. And this is when I began to start thinking about some other tactics. What was I was going to try and do? I think somehow I wanted to figure out how to just drop the rook onto the back rank and surprise him. So I was keeping that in mind from here. I was also noticing that this castle left me on this lovely diagonal for my bishop. So the next few plans that I'm looking for have to do with this. Okay, so threaten the knight. Again, I don't have any decent checks. The bishop's covering. It's actually, now it's awkwardly placed. They also have the ability to check me whenever they want. So that pressure is becoming a little bit annoying here. So I'm going to just retreat the knight. I'm now building pressure with my queen. I have some threats that I'm able to make, and I can move my knight more clearly to safety. If they push the pawn, I mean, I'll just have to accept that this is going to happen and actually again accelerate my development, right? But that is not what happened. What we saw was them threatening my knight. Not a really great move. They love putting the queen like just in areas where I could simplistically attack them. So, I mean, why not just threaten the bishop, right? And now again we have the threat of my queen coming in and just capturing more stuff. Defends the bishop. Fair enough, more or less expected. It's lovely because almost all of their moves since the beginning has more or less been not forced, but they've been just forced to fend off an attack. They haven't had time to build an attack of their own. They've had time to castle, make one kind of slightly annoying move, and that's it, right? My queen is, however, in kind of a rough spot here, knowing that I have this discovery coming up on me, so I'll want to get rid of it. Yeah, so because I saw no more forcing moves at that point. Okay. So this was trying to set up the idea I had had previously of lining up the queen and rook. Now juicier because if I can eliminate the, like pull the queen off of this diagonal, it might well be a free bishop. So, okay, we have a knight. So sometimes, I know when I was a lower level player, I would think about this and I would see, okay, like this I would have considered a bad move. I would say rook is more valuable than a knight, more valuable than a knight and a bishop. Realistically, points value, it's not, and two pieces are better than one. Like a knight and a bishop will be better than a rook. So I make, oh yeah, that's right. This is what you might call an intermezzo, so just a in-between move. Rather than just capturing this and being up material, I go for the bigger fish, right? So now I'm going to get, oh yeah, another intermezzo. So I'm just kind of swinging around back and forth here because I know I can make this move with an attack here, and realizing that they have a pin on my queen. So, I mean, if I can get the bishop, they're deflected from the defense. So, say they make a slip, okay? Say I can do this, right? We have a nice, easy conversion. But that is not what happened. So they just go for a pawn, which I mean is a common problem when you're at the level that this opponent was, is even though you're down, you're just going to pick up a pawn. Like, is that really worth a whole move? Like, at this stage of the game, your move had better be more than that. Like, you just pulled your queen out of the way of my ability to capture your rook, and yep, you got my knight, but guess what? Now you didn't capture my bishop. So that leaves me, as you can see, quite a bit up in material, right? Like I am, what is it, a knight and a bishop ahead, down a pawn though. So, okay, white wants to threaten my my bishop, and I pull another tactic just because I had the feeling that they were perhaps newbie enough to fall for this. So, yeah, basically my plan is, let's force him to move with tempo. If he takes me, I've just got me. So let's see if he falls for it. He didn't. So I left it there for a little while longer, like just sometimes just being a pain in the butt. Okay, so now he's recognized the issue. He's made a luft for his king, so he can just capture this bishop. I have to deal with it. Fine, take the free pawn. Which is funny because just a moment ago I said don't just take free pawns at this stage of the game, but I'm ahead, and that bishop needed to move anyway, so why not move it to there? Okay, bringing my last piece of the game. I've got now 4 attackers. There's nothing he's going to be able to do with this 2. Yep, this would have been a half-decent move. I mean, I would have had an out if I needed to, but always do things with tempo if you can. Which is to say, winning back like a time-winning move here. Now, this may be a bit instructive, this combination, because I know it's going to be forced, and I just want to convert it. You'll notice my time is starting to run a little bit lower. I just want to make this as easy a win as possible. So, here, and there. So I'm forcing a queen's trade, right? Giving up a rook and doing it. But I'm so far ahead of material, it really does not matter anymore. All his pawns are in white squares, easy targets for my bishop. This structure is another kind of instructive process to look at. We'll see why in a second. I don't even bother defending it, because if this, then that, and that pawn is going to queen. So he can never take this pawn. He could also, to some degree, never leave this pawn. So his king is stuck there. He has to play the pawns, which I can just now go pick up, get my queen, and then you guys might hate me for this, but I decided to what we call BM on him a little bit, and just under promote a couple of pieces before going for a final mate, which don't stalemate, but yeah. So here I actually have 2 mates available. I could just move my knight, which would be checkmate, but that is also checkmate. So that is a game that I played recently. Just like I said, a wind down game after a bit of playing. Some of the thoughts and my made up gambit, and I hope you guys draw some inspiration from that. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Always feel free to submit some games to me. I am happy to analyze them. In fact, after this video, I'm probably going to go through and find a game to analyze. And yeah, stay cool.